Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the iceHQ Ice Rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia. On War and Joy, and we were on traditional land for the iceHQ Women's Pro League Round 1, Game 3. Tonight we have the Snipers playing against the Dogs, and they've kind of lined up on the wrong side of the bench here. Gossie, I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. The Snipers should be on the left-hand bench, and the Dogs should be on the right, but clearly not happening this evening. I'm Carl Brewer, and joining me again this evening is, of course, Anton Goss, who will be doing our play-by-play, and will be superb at that as always. But we do have to repeat a news flash that we were able to announce last week, and Dogs fans may have missed it. The Melbourne Ducks, our iceHQ home team here, have been accepted into the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League for the upcoming season, starting November 24th, for 6 induction games. And they will be fully fledged members of the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League in the 2025-2026 season. And everyone here at the rink and all part of this community here is tremendously excited about that opportunity happening for our women's Ducks team. It's great. Gossie, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to hear it, like we said last week, to have the girls in the league. They fought valiantly in their exhibition series last season. Were able to get the win against the defending champs, Sydney Sirens. And we're looking forward to welcoming more top-level hockey here to iceHQ.
We'll rattle the barn, that's for sure, and we'll fill this place. And the girls won't know what's hit them when they have a full home crowd here. And we really do rock the roof. But tonight we have the Snipers and the Dogs. The Snipers in the light blue with red, the Dogs in the dark blue with, it's almost sort of a black really, I guess, with green and blue on the sleeves. And last week, I should say, everyone's had a game. Everyone's now had a game throughout the season. This is now game 3 of the season. And the Dogs started out the week before, so last night, with a very dominant 4-1 win over the Inferno. Shana Godfrey, she had a huge night, scoring 3 goals. She got a hattie. And one of them was, I think, an empty netter at the finish. No, it wasn't an empty netter. It was just a great goal.
Yeah.
And an excellent D2 from the Dogs. Brian Johnson, I think, was outstanding a couple of weeks ago when the Dogs played. She did a great job. She's not big, but by golly, she knows how to use her body and get in the way. She had a great game.
I have to agree. I was chatting to her during the week. She officiates some of the beer league games, and I said, I didn't know you played defense. And she's like, yeah.
She was very good at it. Excellent indeed.
She did an amazing job. And, you can't look past as well the goaltending. Taylor Lester, I mean,
yeah, she was outstanding too.
She had an unreal game. And you look back on some of those big saves she made. She didn't let up many rebounds. The Inferno did have chances through Courtney Mahoney. And they did eventually get one, which was a little unlucky for Taylor Lester. But the Dogs were dominant as always. And down the other end, the Snipers, and they went up against the Inferno last week, and they got goalied a little bit themselves. They had some pretty good dangerous opportunity, but Janelle Carson came up big for the shutout.
I think it's pretty fair to say that the Snipers, they started off pretty slowly. It was the first period that let them down a bit. They hadn't played together and just sort of finding their feet, whereas the Inferno had that previous game. So a little bit of an advantage there to the Inferno, and they took full advantage of it. But tonight, the shots were in the Snipers' favour last week when they played. But as you say, Carson was an absolute big ball. Some of the big names are missing. Well, we did see some great combinations from the Snipers. Defoe and Jackwitz, when they were together, they were very unlucky not to get some really good goals. They created some great opportunities. And Sarah Dash, all I can say, Gossie, is wow.
Yeah, she was really great. Every time she was on the ice, she was dashing through the snow.
Someone was going to do
it. And, she was getting up there, using her speed, getting forward. But they couldn't beat Janelle Carson. I think a lot of that had to do with, they were letting her see the puck. And if you look at what they'd hoped to do today is maybe just get a little bit more offensive pressure, put that body in net. You remember, if you look at the game before, which was the Inferno and Dogs, it took a deflection in front of the net to beat Taylor Lester. And as a goaltender, you never like having those bodies right in the front.
So it's going to be a scorching game tonight. I think really looking forward to it. I think the Snipers last week, what they were missing out on more than anything else at Gossie was puck luck. They had so many chances, and you just get those random bounces, and for the Inferno it was going the right way, and for the Snipers it was not. But I think tonight you can't be unlucky forever. And watch the Snipers and see how they pan out this evening as we're about to get underway.
Well, it'll be a big line, and it's the roommates starting for the Dogs. It's Butler, Godfrey, and Cochran, who were the Cochran and Godfrey connection was on full force in Game 1. So here we are, puck deep in the Dog zone here. Cochran with it on the puck, just bounces that forward to the speedy Danny Butler, but intercepted there by B. DeFour, who was trying to throw that in on Kayla Best, as the Dogs boast 2 great goaltenders and decide to play Best for Game 2.
Ryland, they're just with a little bit of a high stick. Sorry, it's Justin Kulak. A bit of a high stick up there. She's a bit lucky not to get pinged for that.
Pressure still on. It's the captain, Godfrey, looking to center it. It goes right on the stick of Sarah Dash and bounces right in front off a stick. And Marnie Pullen able to keep that in the pads there.
You see this on the
Best.
replay here. You see the Dogs' defence with that very risky cross ice, and Dash just gets its stick on it and just sort of fires it in the direction of the net. And very lucky there to, unlucky I should say for Dash, not to tickle the twine.
That was Sharna Godfrey there throwing that into the center of the ice. Probably was looking for the centerman to come through, but unfortunately did not find a dog stick.
This game's been pulled back there. The face-off, what happened? One of the wingers, number 16 there for the Dogs, trying to move up very quickly. And what happened was Amelia Grigolanus trying to move up before the referee dropped the puck.
So Paige Cameron battling in the corner there. It's Danny Howe, one of the protected players for the Snipers, battling, and it eventually comes out behind the net. Pickering has it on her backhand, watched up there by the Dogs, and just bounces right in on Kayla Best.
So Best this evening, the goaltender for the Dogs. Last time they played, it was, as we mentioned earlier, Taylor Lester in the net for the Snipers. Fairly confident that's Jade Davis-Tope down now they're in.
That you are correct. So a face-off here, and it is Hope Newman facing off and wins it. Good pressure here for the Snipers, but intercepted and now sent over to Aguirre Thabo. She chips that into the corner. She'll chase in there, but Ryland will get there first for the Snipers. Pickering just chips that forward right on the stick of Newman. She's got a bit of space, but Briar Johnson comes around and makes contact, allowing support there from Tran to clear it into the neutral zone.
One with a nice read there, just playing it safely up the boards. It's always a good option.
Little loose puck deep there by Grigalunas goes awry, but it's intercepted there on the line and kept in here for the Dogs. Heather Ryland, though, Georgia Moore, the captain, doing a great job to clear that, and with the Dogs forced to tag up, this is going to allow B. DeFour to collect it in the own zone for the Snipers. DeFour sends it forward, looking for Dash now through the neutral zone, kicks it up to her stick. She'll dump that deep, and going in to chase it is Justine Krulak. Tran goes D to Johnston. She curls back away from Sarah Dash and will take it back to the protection of her own net. The Dogs now chip it out into the neutral zone. It's on the stick of the speedy Danny Butler, last year's leading point scorer, takes the puck deep into the corner. She battles in the corner there with Georgia Moore. In with support is Sarah Dash, and now the Snipers will look to get it out here through Newman.
Looks like the Snipers tonight without Aletta Jackwitz, who was very effective last week. Haven't seen her on the ice yet.
Chip back forward. Here it is, Dash on the backhand shot, and a kick save and a beauty there by Best as she knocked that one into the corner. Comes back again to Dash. She looked to center it off the back of the net, takes it to her forehand. B. DeFour comes in, takes a shot and misses. Krulak now battles with Godfrey. Godfrey not able to get it past Mayer. And Krulak now brings it back as far as the point as Georgia Moore takes a bouncer into the legs there of Taylor Nelson.
Godfrey just sneaking on for the Dogs. I don't think anyone's noticed that she got on the ice.
Marnie Pullen stops up in her zone and cross ice pass over to the captain, Sharna Godfrey, leading the league this season with 3 points in game 1. She takes it in 1-on-5, takes it wide, nice little backhand pass looking for Cochran, but intercepted by the speedy Sarah Dash. Cochran with the nice back check, and Dash chips that in and will go off for a change as the Snipers look to pin the Dogs in here.
You might have noticed Godfrey up. There was a 4-on-1 against her, and the reason for that, the Dogs were getting a change, and Godfrey wisely just carried the puck into the corner.
Neve Gallagher has it now, and she'll chip that over to Cochran, who'll come in and send a cross-ice dump and go for a change. First on it there was Carly Harvey, who just went into the corner. It's picked up here by Newman for the Snipers. Head up, looking for an exit out of the zone. Pinching there is Cameron. She chips that in, but only as far as the Sniper defense. Intercepted now by Grigalunas, and she'll chip that past Newman and go in herself. Grigalunas there in on Ryland, tied up. Grigalunas using her body just to create space and picks it up now on the forehand and sends it back to Johnston. Johnston takes a shot, blocked there by the defense, but collected now behind the net here in the near side corner by Grigalunas. Grigalunas chips it deep, collected by Aguirre Thabo. Aguirre Thabo behind the net, chips it over there to Butler, who walks out on the backhand, loose there in the slot with David Tote deep in her net, but the Dogs not able to get a shot.
First really good scoring opportunity there for the Dogs in this game. They had a fair bit of zone time, but not quite able to get a player free from the side. Aguirre Thabo was good and working behind the net, but they couldn't quite get that connection they needed.
Puck cleared there by Shay Gagnac, her second game in the Pro Hockey League, Women's Pro Hockey League here. Johnston just chips that past the oncoming forechecker. A stumble there by the dogs and nearly punished by the snipers. But it was Julia Tran who was able to just chip that out of the zone.
Gunning left to stick behind. She had to go back in and get it. Desperately dashes to get across the line there. Good commitment by Gunning to get her team back on side.
Tran sends it over. It's going to be kept in there by Nelson. She throws that in and a nice stick save there by Best. Snipers putting on good pressure here. We haven't really seen many dogs opportunities, but that could change quickly here. It's Gagnac over, centering it there to Marion, who takes a shot on net, and the save there by Davis Tope on the far side as you see the dogs get their first scoring opportunity here 7 minutes into the first.
Good quality one there, but we are still all tied up at 0 goals apiece. 5 shots on the net for the Snipers, just the 2 for the Dogs. They did that opportunity just a little bit earlier for a loose player in the slot, but couldn't capitalise on that, and we're underway.
So a bit of a lineup change here. We have Tara Baker now centering the dynamic duo of Godfrey and Cochran, and it's Godfrey walking out of the corner, looking to center it there for Baker, but it was intercepted there by Dash. Nice work by Cochran to give it down to her buddy Godfrey. Back to Cochran. Cochran with a shot, blocked there by Dash. Right in front again, Godfrey with a shot, and just off the toe there of Jade Davis Tope, as we'll definitely look this out on the CCM All-Out replay.
We did get some excellent combinations last week between Godfrey and Cochran, and they'll be doing terrific work with that again tonight. You can just see the chemistry they have. They know where each other is all the time.
That save was so great, we're not allowed to show it on, on stream. It was too nasty. There we go. So puck's back here at the point. Just walking away from his Nelson. She curled to give it back down to Godfrey. You see the big line looking to add some offense here for the Dogs. On the stick of Cochran, looking to center it for Godfrey, but walks out now and looks to give it to her captain. But it bounces to the point, and a slapper there rings off the point, as that was Pullen getting the shot away.
Pullen did that really well. She had a pretty good screen. It's the right option to just fire that puck in and see what would happen.
Pullen just being forced back there by Mayer. Gets it to Nelson, who gives it right back to Pullen. What great chemistry these two defenders are having early in the season.
It's a good forechecking pressure there too by Mayer to put that pressure on the Dogs and force them back in deep in their own defensive zone.
Beatafor sends that the length of the ice, and Paige Cameron just hesitated playing that, so the icing was waved off.
I think some of the Snipers were a bit concerned that was icing, but the referee decides reality. We're just spectators.
Bella Ramundo there, nice job to tie up Butler, who's now on the ice with Aguirre-Thabo and Grigalunas. And Butler now with speed, takes it wide, will bring it onto the forehand, take a shot and scores! Danny Butler joins the party, her first goal of the season. Top shelf over the glove of Jade Davis Tope, 8 minutes into the first.
Now that's a shot from a really difficult angle. Davis Tope there had a good option to keep that shut down, but a superb shot there by Butler to get around the goalie from a very, very tight angle indeed. There's not a lot of net in that place when you're coming in from well over 45 degrees from the net. So great shot there, Butler, and the Dogs have the lead, 1-0 over the Snipers.
So you can see, I think Butler's just having a conversation with Captain Godfrey. They want to keep their line together, so she'll just take the short shift and let Baker out there so she can get back with her roommates, Cochran and Godfrey. So here we are, it's 1-0 after some pretty inspired play by the Snipers. All it took was a second from one of the skilled Dogs forwards, and it was Danny Butler scoring her first of the season. Looking to get one back quickly here is Newman over the blue line, picked up there by Pickering. She chips that deep. Newman just turned away from Cameron, has it in the corner, brings it back to the point. It's Pickering with a shot there that hit some skates and collected calmly there by Paige Cameron, who collides there in the corner.
Cameron just held that puck and hesitated for just a little bit too long, allowing the Snipers to keep the puck in and maintain offensive pressure.
Marion now has the puck behind the net, just chips it into the corner. Back to it there is Danny Howe first for the Dogs. Puck shot in, and that just gets deflected wide there into the corner. And now it will be Marion who's able to, or Baker, who's able to clear that out of the neutral.
3-on-2 there for the Dogs, but they're going and getting the change, which is the right thing to do. There's an old saying, the change is more important than the rush. In that instance, the Dogs taking the change instead of trying to flood the Snipers.
Especially when the first three ladies coming over the boards are Cochran, Godfrey, and Butler.
Butler there presenting a stick, just waiting for the puck, blasting down the side.
Here she is with speed, gets it, crossover to Godfrey with a shot, and she scores! Sharna Godfrey scores her leading third goal of the season off a great feed there by Butler into the center.
Godfrey there actually with her first goal of tonight. She got a hat-trick last week, Gossie, and 2 weeks ago. You might have forgotten, but I know you were pretty excited about it at the time. So that's Godfrey's fourth. And just beautiful chemistry there. Butler barreling down into the corner. Sees Godfrey coming across from the other side. Unmarked player in the slot. That's where the goals are found. And Godfrey didn't make any mistake whatsoever in putting that one away.
You are correct. You can see there Sharna Godfrey on the bottom. The nice work done by Phil Trin to get that up there. Her fourth goal of the season there, assisted by her line mates Butler and Cochran.
It was a beautiful pass across. You could just see her reading the space and coming into it. Just read that absolutely beautifully.
So a 2-0 game here as the Dogs do what they do best, score in bunches. And the Snipers now, after a great first half of the period, are staring down a 2-goal deficit.
And interesting enough, shots on the net, just 6 apiece. But it's this combination of Butler and Godfrey and Cochran that it was just so effective.
Here's Moore battling with Butler, who ran into her teammate in Cochran or in Godfrey, and that's going to allow the Snipers to clear the zone. But a bouncing puck done nicely here by Krulak, one of the upcoming Duck Stars, looking to center it, but head was not up there and just sent it to absolutely no one, and that's going to allow the Dogs now not to clear it out. Great work there by Pickering as she fell down to get it in, and now Sarah Dash will chip that into the near side corner. Look to center it, bounced off the side of the net, and a great job there by Best to glove that one and make the save.
Just breaking up that earlier attack too, Gossie, I think you might find that was, can I possibly forget? That was Briar Johnson once again, just with that defensive back check, getting back and forcing everyone out wide. She's so effective at reading that play.
So Newman facing off with Baker, one there by the Snipers. It's Pickering taking in the corner. Great stick there by Telly Nelson, and the Dogs will get that out of the zone, and it just touches the stick there of Danny Howe, and that will get offside.
Danny Howe, she knew it had happened as soon as she heard the whistle. So, yep, I'm on the wrong side of the blue line. If the puck goes out of the offensive zone, everyone has to go out before anyone can go back in. The expression puck you is the one that comes to mind, the puck and then you.
So here it is with Baker over the blue line, winds with a shot, kick save, and a fat rebound there. Wasn't able to be collected by Gareth Abel, and now the Snipers will get it out of the zone. It's Pickering just tied up there by Nelson. She chips that forward back to Gareth Abel, who crosses the line and chips that in as the Dogs decide to go for a change. Deep in the Sniper zone, it's Raimondo chipping it forward there for Howe. She chips that high over the head of Marnie Pullen, and Bella Raimondo pinches in to start the forecheck. Pullen, great skater, is forced back. She collects speed from behind the net and now looks for a stretch pass over to Grigalunas. Tape to tape. She just fumbled that, which allowed Raimondo to collect it, who just chipped that away from Marnie Pullen.
Nice play by Raimondo. She was at the end of a shift. She's pretty tired, but she managed to get a stick on the puck and break up that attack quite nicely there. So good defensive work by Raimondo in defence for the Snipers, but they will have a face-off back in their defensive zone. Watch to see where their wingers set themselves up and see if they can turn a defensive zone face-off into a quick attack. But they've got to watch out. The defence for the Dogs on this occasion, none other than the almost totally impenetrable Niv Gallagher. He's sitting back watching very carefully to see what happens from this face-off.
So Butler wins that face-off clear to the point, and the Dogs just rim that behind the net. It's picked up by Butler, who looked to just get that back to Niamh Gallagher. A little bouncer, but she was able to get forward and give it back to the opening goal scorer, Danny Butler. Snipers now take it out into the neutral zone. Chips it forward. It's on the stick of Krulak, but back is Gagnac here for the Dogs. Intercepted here now by Dash, who gets it over to Mayer, takes a shot, and a great stick save there by Best. Puck was loose there for a moment, but collected here by the Dogs' Butler, who now chips it forward over to Marion. She's got Gagnac crashing the net, a shot on and a stick save there, just chips that one into the far side corner by Davis Tope. Puck behind the net, Gagnac leaves it for Baker. She tries to get around Ryland and force back into the corner. Behind the net, it's still with Baker, tries to toe drag it there, but Ryland was all the wiser when able to knock that off her stick. Dash now for the Snipers, battles in her own zone. She's tied up there with Gagnac, knocks down her opponent, and the puck comes out loose, and Ryland now will chip that forward for Mayer, and it just chips into the high slot, and a low shot there, looking for a deflection by Cameron, and it was Gagnac not able to collect that, and just with a pad there on the near side post, Davis Tope able to make it.
If we get to see this too, Gossie, we might see just a little bit of hesitation, and wisely too, by Paige Cameron. She had to look in and she saw snipers coming. It's a decision, do I go and get the puck or do I start moving backwards? And on that occasion, she read it right and got the puck in and fired it quickly, but she didn't have time to muck around with it. There was no time for fancy puck handling. That was to get the puck and fire it straight on the net, which is exactly what she did. Good play, Paige Cameron.
Save there by Davis Tope near side as she sprawls out and gets the oven mitts on that one. You'll see this on the CCM All-Out replay.
Shots are just starting to add up now for the Dogs. We're out to, they've finally actually got more shots on the net than the Snipers, 10 shots to 9 with just under a minute and a half to go.
So here's Godfrey, 4 goals so far this season, 1 tonight. Tried to bounce that off the back of Davis Tope. And with support is Butler, who is second in league scoring here with 3 points, 1 goal or 4 points, 1 goal and 3 assists. Puck back to Cochran. She sends that deep over to Godfrey. Back to Cochran, shoots and scores! So the Dogs' top line have joined the party as now Cochran joins her line mates Godfrey and Butler, as the Dogs are now up 3-0 in the final minute of the first period.
You might see this on the replay. There's that loose play of the Snipers just letting the Dogs get too much space in the slot, and that's twice now they've had the opportunity to take advantage of that. Earlier when Godfrey came across and was not marked, and this time it was it again, Gossie?
It was Cochran.
It was Cochran. They're just sailing across and no Snipers on them. They've got to tighten that up, Snipers, otherwise the Dogs are going to just make a meal of everything.
I've got to say that this line of Butler, Cochran, and Godfrey could be one of the best women's lines in Australia. The talent they got on there is absolutely great, and it's on full display here tonight. And here comes Baker, takes it wide, takes a shot, almost banked it off the shoulder there of Davis Tope, but she stood tall and able to cover that.
But just under 10 seconds now to go in the first period, so that's how it's going to end. We won't get this face-off. So at the end of the first, it will be 3 goals to none in favour of the Dogs. And there is indeed the siren. The ladies will get a brief break. Coaches get a bit of a chance to talk to them. We'll be looking to see what the Snipers can do second period around. They've got to come up with an answer for that A-line combination from the Dogs and make sure they prioritise owning that space in front of the slot. You can't let loose players sail through there because as the Dogs have shown us, that's an absolute given that Godfrey will score from there almost every single time. So that's what the Snipers need to fix. They've had plenty of chances, Gossie. They've had 9 shots on the net and they've had some pretty good quality ones. But the Dogs have made better use of the puck that they've had, and just that space through the net has been across in front of the slots what the Snipers really need to own. It
was an absolutely brilliant first 9 minutes of the game for the Snipers. They had a lot of pressure. They weren't able to get the goal, but then just when it kind of hit that 9-minute mark, it was 2 goals on 2 shots there by Butler and Godfrey, which just kind of opened up the game, and then that passing play there late in the third to get Cochran in on the journey was able to make that 3-0, and nothing really Davis Tope could do on that.
Interestingly too, the Dogs tonight without their coach, they're running their own bench, whereas the Snipers have their coach with them, which is an asset for them throughout the game. But the one looking after the Dogs at the moment is none other than Shana Godfrey, who if you had to have someone sitting there as a captain coach, I don't think you could pick anyone better.
Well, I tell you what, if I were looking at a 3-0 lead and I needed a coach on the bench to inspire me, I'd be looking none other than Mates legend Drew Caffrey on the bench there, coaching the Snipers. I'm sure he's drawing up something big, and we'll see some good plays here for the Snipers as they look to erase this three-goal deficit.
One of them would be fierce in the slot. Don't let them get there. That's for sure. He'd be reminding his D that that's number one priority. Don't let any players float around in the slot without you in their face.
So here we are, face-off is won by Dash, and Ryland chips it up to Mayer. She looked to get that deep, but hit a dog, and that stops up there on the half wall. Grigalunas now clears it into the zone, but only as far as the Snipers defender will turn them right back into the zone as the forecheck begins. Dash just pins up Pullen there, comes behind the net, and there was Nelson, who's had a great start to this season. She's looking excellent next to Marnie Pullen on the top pairing here for the Dogs. Here is the aforementioned Pullen. She just evades the forecheck there, Mayer, and uses her great skating to get that over to Tara Baker. Baker, nice little toe drag, gets it into the offensive zone, curls it back into the center, but intercepted by Dash. Here's Nelson pinching, just left the puck behind, but gets support by her centerman Baker, who chips that deep. Ryland has a head up, looking to just clear it past the oncoming forechecker, and now Mayer will wheel it behind her own zone and bounce that off the wall up in front for Mika Gunning.
Butler's just snuck onto the ice.
Dash over the line and takes a shot, but just missed the net there as she saw a bit of daylight. But here's danger. They all so quick. Danny Butler in, winds, shots, scores! And just like the first, Danny Butler opens the scoring in the second as the Dogs are now up 4-0 on the Snipers.
So look there a little bit earlier, like Butler was waiting for Godfrey to get on, but she saw there was an opportunity to go down the right-hand side and get a bit of space. And then she got around 2 or 3 Snipers and made it all look just a little bit too easy as the puck, the goals moved off its post. The referee's just trying to sort out that issue, but they've got it under control now.
There's a little, as a goalie, I know that net very well. There's a big, loose little mumbo-jumbo tied up there, and occasionally the puck gets stuck there. You try your best in beer league to say, oh, I didn't go in the net. Let me grab it out of my equipment, but not here. So Danny Butler unassisted, her second of the game, as the Dogs now take a commanding 4-0 lead here early in the second period.
Snipers not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. I'm really waiting to see Sarah Dash really unleash some of her magic. She hasn't really had too much of a chance yet, but she's had a couple of opportunities. She's capable of doing it, that's for sure.
So here's Butler now with speed coming in on B4, but B4 using her size to her advantage, shielding that puck and allowing Georgia Moore to come in and collect it.
Moore just using her size, runs over one of the Dogs there.
But here's Butler looking to get in on the hat trick. Instead, chips it forward, it's loose. What a save there by Davis Tope as she spread across and got that down with the paddle. Ladies and gentlemen, a star is born. Here we are, so puck deep. A great save there by Davis Tope to keep this a 4-0 lead. How important that is, we'll only tell when we get to the end of the third period. But the Dogs pressing again. It's Godfrey now taking it wide, not able to get around Moore. Nice there though. Comes in front, centers it to Cochran, and she got a shot on, but another save there by Davis Tope. Cochran looking to get it back to the point there for Johnston. She pinches away from Mayer. Cochran now centers it, intercepted by Moore, who will chip that over and clear the zone. Blind pass there, picked up by Krulak. It's offside, and Cochran, a nice little one-touch pass in front to Godfrey as they look to start the forecheck now deep in the Sniper zone.
One of the things the Snipers will need to do to get themselves back in this game is just lift their intensity. You can see Butler, for example, absolutely sprinting every chance he gets to get the puck. Snipers, on the other hand, just not quite on the toes.
That was B4 getting tripped up there, and she skates a little gingerly over to the bench as Bella Raimondo joins the attack. The Dogs' Briar Johnson chips that forward over to Godfrey. She takes a lane into the zone, gives it over there to Cochran, right back to Godfrey. Godfrey, little turn, takes a shot, a bouncing puck there, cleared aside by Carly Harvey. It's now Dash with a move, looking to create some speed, a stretch pass looking for Krulak just out of the reach, and that will be just enough for icing as Krulak was bearing in there on Marnie Pullen.
That might be actually our first icing of the
Let's
evening.
see this on the CCM All-Out replay. Davis Tope makes the save, kicks it out, and stretches across and gets the blocking arm there. What a save by the Sniper netminder.
A good second effort there, and Snipers back in numbers, which is what they need to be doing. But they do need to lift their intensity a bit. They're just a little bit slow off the mark.
Puck shot in deep there by Marnie Pullen. It's Godfrey now who will walk out of the corner. She gets tripped up. Hand is up now, so the Dogs will go to their first power play of the game, leading the Snipers by 4 here with just under 13 minutes remaining in the second.
Raimondo who'll be doing the 2 for the trip, and she's just apologised to Shana Godfrey. She didn't mean it, but the thing about the trip, if your stick causes your opponent to fall over, the referees have no discretion. They must award a penalty.
There's really not much you can do when you got someone who can move their stick and skate as well as Danny Butler. She does it so well walking out of that corner and using her stick, and unfortunately for this one, Bella Raimondo will be sitting for 2 or less.
She'd like it to be 2.
Now here's Nelson with a shot. It blocks off a stick and right in. Davis Tope able to see that through traffic, and she gets a pat on the shoulder by Heather Ryland.
Good read there by Nelson. She did the right thing, just lobbed the puck through traffic. There was a lot of bodies in the way, and that puck ended up going quite high up and could well have gone over the top of everything.
Face-off won by Grigalunas. It's on the stick of Girathabel, and Grigalunas now picks it up as the Dogs look to set up the power play. Grigalunas drops it there for Nelson. She gives it over to Pullen. Pullen winds back to Nelson. She's got a shooting lane, takes it, and that one just goes a little wide, probably looking for a dog in front of the net for a tip.
Nelson didn't quite get enough on that one. I think she's a bit disappointed in the shot.
Pullen was looking for the tip there. It's a Girathabel who's able to get that, but a nice clear there by Gunning.
Dogs changing the line now. They've got different power play on, including Butler.
So Butler now joining on the ice with Gagnac and Marion, but it's the Snipers who turn the Dogs back here with 30 seconds out of the penalty already. B for a high lofting dump down the rest of the ice, and she goes for a change as the Snipers look to continue to kill this with 40 seconds remaining in their power play.
We just seem to have a little bit of a technical issue with the timing system at the moment with the scoreboard. We'll keep you informed as to what the actual time is to go as soon as we can.
So here's Butler in the offensive zone. It's pinned up here. It's still on the point. Nice job here to kill off some precious seconds. And Pickering just able to get that one out of the zone now with 13 seconds remaining here on the power play for the Dogs. Butler one-touch pass over to Gagnac, gives it over to Marion. She comes in the offensive zone and just centers that one, but it goes to Georgia Moore, who can't get it out. Gallagher with a little bouncer, and that goes wide, and first to it will be the captain, Georgia Moore.
And back to full strength now, the Snipers. Moore took herself straight into the play, I think.
Ryland was looking for dash. It was intercepted by Butler. Pickering uses her body to stop up the Dog superstar, and now here comes Danny Howe. Howe looking to take it wide, pushed to the side by Cameron, centers it there, puck's there for a moment for Pickering, but a great job there by Danny Butler to push that puck and snuff out the danger.
Just Steph Cochran there floating around in the middle of that neutral zone waiting for that connecting pass, and she got it nicely, but Snipers this time back in numbers.
The problem you have here with the Dogs is when you got Danny Butler, Steph Cochran, and Danny Butler on the same line, it's hard to who you want to leave open, and it's looking like the Snipers are giving Steph Cochran a lot of time and space, and I'll tell you what, she is quite the playmaker, and if you give her that space, she's going to find a teammate, and she's already done that 3 times so far this season.
Just over 9 minutes to play now in the second. 4-0, the Snipers.
Puck is just tied up here in the Sniper zone. They'd love to get one here and start the charge of a comeback. It's Paige Cameron forced back behind her net. She chips it to the open wing to none other than the pride of Morrisburg, Ontario, Steph Cochran. She finds Sharna Godfrey looking to add to her 2-goal tally and chips that forward.
Well, she got around 2 there with a nice little bit of puck movement, but there was enough Snipers back to sort out the problem.
Sent back there and just knocked aside by Raimondo. She's being watched closely by Grigalunas and Godfrey, and not able to get the puck past Johnson. Godfrey, nice little stick handling there, and a stick save there by Davis Tope, steers that one into the corner.
Godfrey with the patented "I missed it, everyone else missed it" too, Deke.
And here we are, the charge starting with Hope Newman. Able to get it into the zone, but Briar Johnson back for the Dogs. Nice little turn and stop to get away from Newman. Finding some space here, the Dogs youngster will skate it out all herself. The seas just parted there for Briar Johnson as she's looking to go end to end. Takes it behind the net, still with it, keeping it away from B4, but can only do that momentarily as the big Sniper defender gets the puck picked off from her by Danny Butler. Tara Baker now brings it out front, look to center it. It's loose there, and Girathabel looks for a shot, but steered that one just wide.
There's a nice cheeky backhand there by Girathabel. She did a good job on that one. You can see Butler at the moment stepping up and just doing a bit of leadership on the ice, and we will have a penalty.
Yeah, and here's Briar Johnson as She argues her call as it was Jasmine Mayer down on the ice. And I must say, a little bit of a blind spot for me, so I can't say what went down. But what we do know is Briar Johnson will be sitting in the box for 2 minutes or less.
The Snipers with their first power play of the game. They're going to need to get a goal here. They've only got they've got 7 minutes to go in this period. They've got to get some points on the board, get themselves in this, and also give themselves a bit of a lift. Get off the heels.
Looking for a hard shot right off the shins there of Baker and right onto the stick of the dangerous Danny Butler. You remember the Dogs had quite the power kill last season with Butler, Godfrey, and Cochran often taking the ice, and this time it's Baker and Butler defending this chance. Now, what a move there by Georgia Moore, looking to lead her team back in this comeback here on the power play. Comes in on Baker, nice stick lift. Look, centers it in a deflection there, just in front by Gunning, just went wide. On the stick now, it comes back to the captain, Moore. She shoots it across there, over to Harvey. Harvey winds, takes a shot, and off the pad and into the glove of Kayla Best as she makes a yet another save here, her 19th of the game.
It was a good shot through traffic there for the Snipers, and almost managing to pick up a deflection there was Gunning. Just not quite able to get enough on it, as you say, Gossie. Best was best. She made that one look a little bit easier than it probably was.
Krulak gets it back to Beatafore. You know, she's got a cannon on her, and that one just went wide. Krulak on the near wall gives it back to the point. It's Ryland over to Dufour. Dufour with a nice little move away from Cochran. Shot tied up there by Godfrey. And Paige Cameron able to get that down the length of the ice.
Godfrey did a terrific bit of stick checking there on Dufour. She saw that she was lining up. Just hit the stick and just disrupted the rhythm and took the power out of Dufour's shot.
Dufour was looking for Mayer. A little errant pass is going to allow the captain, Sharna Godfrey, to pick that up in her own zone. She's being chased back by Mayer, but she'll be happy to take a little bit of space and kill a few more seconds off this power play. Snipers onto the attack now through B4. Centers it over for Mayer on the backhand, or Krulak, sorry. It's back to Ryland. Shot on, deflected. It's back. Dash was winding up, and it was just stolen off her by Mayer. And Mayer then tried to drop it back, and that allowed the Dogs to regain possession. Ryland in the neutral zone for the Snipers. Look just to dump that down, and that does go down the length of the ice for icing, which is a killer on the power play, especially when you had B4 wide open in the center of the ice.
Not too much time left to go on that power play as well. This will be drop of the puck, and it will be all over for the Snipers. They got a couple of chances, a nice couple of shots in from the blue line by B4, but just some good pressure defence by the Dogs. Then, as you say, Gossie, converting it into attacking play, it makes a big difference as Agira Panther decides to take a tumble.
Yeah, I think it was Agira Thabel's cover shorts just fell off her and tripped her up. That's something you don't see every day, that's for sure, as the girls all have a laugh.
So the Dogs still need one more player on the ice. The clock's still ticking.
Yeah, and when what'll end up is on the drop of the ice, Briar Johnson will join the fray and join Julia Tran here on the point. And but B4 has it on her stick now for the Snipers. Little stretch pass over to Dash. Dashing on Johnson, number 7 on number 7. And the Sniper wins out there. Dash just drops it. Krulak collects. Comes back to the point. It's there for Raimondo, who hits the shins of Baker, and now collected here by Dufour. Dash in the corner. Watch there by Tran. Curls back. B4's joined the attack, and Dash now drops it for it. Just missed her, and it'll go back behind the net. Tran will get there, and Mayer swings and misses at that puck. Briar Johnson has some space here and stretches it out there for Baker. It's a 3-on-2 here as Baker takes it wide. She has it on the backhand, stops up, looks to center it, and a shot on, and a big save by Davis Tope. I didn't see that. Let's see that on the CCM all-out replay as the puck came into the center, and a big save by the blocking arm, and Davis Tope didn't even know where it was, but it wasn't in the net.
She's got it under one of her legs, and it's stuck there. And when that happens, Gossie, you just freeze and hope that it hasn't gone behind you, which is exactly what Davis Tope did in that situation. The puck's gone missing. The referee has to blow it up. And Davis Tope basically sitting on that puck, so quite safe there. It's not going to go in the net. She's snuck on now for the Dogs, who've got the big line.
Yeah, Shots 20-14 here in favor of the Dogs. Snipers only able to get 5 shots this period, which is not what you need when you're down by 4. Butler down to Godfrey. Godfrey, nice job just to evade that stick check. It's down in front of the net and just cleared back to the point here for Nelson. Nelson over to Pullen, the right option there, and Pullen now just will shovel that deep for Cochran. Cochran given space, center for Godfrey, a shot on and a kick save there by Davis. Tope steers that one wide.
That's what the Snipers really need to stop. If Godfrey's floating around in the slot, you have to be in her face and lifting his stick up off the ice. Ramondo there needs to be a bit more alert to that. I think if Godfrey gets in and she's sneaking in again.
Nice move here by Cochran. Looks to center it over to Butler. Butler shoots and hits the side of the net. She's got Nelson at the point and finds her. Nelson's going to wind up now and chip that back down for Butler. Butler, 2 goals already. Cross ice to Cochran, and Cochran just holds up and maintains possession. A smart play, but Marnie Pullen mishandled that one, and that allowed the Snipers a little bit of reprieve as the Dogs forced to tag up.
You can see exactly what the Snipers need to be doing there. Was Georgia Moore keeping an eye on Godfrey and making sure she had no room to move.
Tripped up, and Davis Tope down, and puck cleared there by Moore as Danny Butler kind of looks to the official saying, I didn't fall down by myself.
Moore would be pretty keen to get a change. He's been on the ice for a while and battling against Godfrey, which is pretty tiring. Godfrey now floating around high as the Snipers get a change.
Puck on the stick of Gunning. It's with Mayer, who is just forced out back behind her net. It almost looked like for a second she thought she had to go the other way. But stolen here by Godfrey and just offside because of the change. There will be a face-off right in front of the Dogs bench to end the period.
Just a little bit of a classic mistake there. The player jumping on from the wrong side of the blue line, coming on the ice, immediately puts themselves offside. Not really intentional, just a little bit of inexperience from one of the younger players.
So score is 4-0 here late in the second period. There's enough for one more chance. Who's it going to go to? We do not know. It's on the stick of Dash, though, here for the Snipers. Nice little move stopped up there by Grigalunas, and it's a Girathabo puck sent on center there and just tipped wide as Dash now will battle up. If she winds and shoots, she might get it before the buzzer, but none there. So we'll see this on the CCM All-Out replay, this last save. The shot from the Snipers in on Best, and she just steered that away with the big old rudder and keeps this at a 4-0 game.
So, Gossie, I think for the Snipers, what they've been missing in this period was a little bit of intensity and a little bit of size and physicality up front. Sarah Dash has been absolutely doing everything she can, but she's been isolated on her own. Last week, they experimented with Aletta Jackwitz and Beta 4 up forward for a while, and that was very effective, but they don't have Jackwitz here tonight. I'm not sure exactly why she's not here, but I think they're missing out on her intensity and her physicality. And as a result, the Snipers just not really creating the opportunities that they need to, and they were showing up a bit in that second period. The Dogs out shooting them 10-6, and at times deep in their attacking zone, the Dogs having way too much time to just hold the puck and not being pressured enough. And I think that's something the Snipers will know, and they know they need to fix it. Georgia Moore came out on one occasion and certainly did manage to put that physical pressure on Godfrey and stop her from being in the slot where she wanted to be, but that's what the Snipers need more of, and they need to get out fast and try and create some transitional plays.
This could have easily been a 6-goal lead if it weren't for the 2 big saves by Davis Tope, both with that trailing blocking arm. But the game really comes down to one line. It's the Godfrey, Cochran, Butler line that the Snipers just don't have an answer for. They've scored all 4 goals for these Dogs. And
I think last time they played, they scored all the goals as well. So the Snipers need to shut them down and take advantage of when they're not on the ice. Because they can't be on the ice all the time. That's when they really want to try and get a turnaround. And they get some more transitional hockey and create some of those odd play rushes, but they just haven't been able to do it yet. But they've got 18 minutes of hockey to go. Let's see what they can do. Can they get on the board early?
Face-off won by the Snipers. They've been pretty good in that department, but haven't been able to translate that into any real offensive pressure. It's on the stick of Sarah Dash, who you're claiming should get a goal, and she'll wind and take one there, and Best is down, and a battle in front of the net is an early whistle, according to the Snipers. We'll have to see this on the CCM All-Out replay. Dash looking just to go 5-hole. The puck was loose and nearly put aside by Krulak, but the whistle had gone.
So Snipers just missing out again on that little bit of puck luck, but great play, Dash. That's what she needs to do. Before circling around, winds a big slap shot through traffic, just goes over the post.
So the puck is now pinned on the near side wall. It's Marion there with Butler and Mayer there with Ryland, and they
decide they've had enough of that, and they're going to pull it out. And, players will get a change. It's interesting they stopped that, Gossie. Quite often those board battles are allowed to continue, but this time they weren't. See if Dash can win this one, perhaps back to one of her D, fire the cannon. We saw a rocket going just before from B to 4. Went over everything and just skimmed the top of the goal. Dash wins the face-off nicely.
It's on the stick of B to 4, chipping it forward there for Mayer. It's picked up by the young pup there, Briar Johnson, who just tried to one-hand that past Dash, but Dash collects it there, tries to walk out of the corner. Nice stick check and second effort by Briar Johnson. Knocked that off, but it does come out loose into the slot, but only momentarily as the experienced Kayla Best covered that up.
Best did a good job of covering that. She had Dash coming in, trying to get on that puck. You can see the risks too. The Dogs wingers getting up very, very quickly on the blue line from that defensive zone face-off, putting the Snipers' defence under a lot of pressure. They tried to get a cross-ice pass across to their D, but it was pretty risky.
So here's Tran now with it on her stick. She reverses it across over for Cochran, who has 5 points, tied for the league lead with her line mate, Danny Butler. It's now with Cochran, who chips that back down behind the net. First to it will be the Snipers, but forced just to chip it away with Cochran lurking. Danny Howe for the Snipers now chips that out, and a rolling puck is waved off for icing as Julia Tran now forced to navigate the on-cupping forecheck. Gunning collects it, chips it in front, stolen by Johnson, and cleared only as far as Ryland here for the Snipers.
Johnson doing another job today, excellent defence, just being in the right place all the time. She's great at it, and the Snipers caught offside there, and there was just Mika Gunning was caught in deep, and that resulted in Ava Pickering being caught offside, so we'll have a face-off just outside the defensive zone for the Dogs. Watch for the speed of their wingers' movement too when they set this up. They get out really quickly. As a result, they're creating those opportunities very quickly in transition.
Puck sent in there, and it's with Ramundo, who's forced back by Butler, and she forces a turnover. The Dogs. It was Baker sending it down to Butler. Butler curls away, has it in the far side corner, head up, looking for someone in the slot, and eventually stolen by Ramundo. Howe chips it cross ice. It's picked up there by Pickering. Shot by Pickering into the...
The wing is moving out so quickly.
With a shot on, comes right back on her stick. Looked to center it, but it's deflected into the corner. DeFore again centered forward, but a nice active stick by Kayla Best. Steers that one wide.
It looks like they've moved DeFore into forward. It's a bit hard to tell exactly. The Snipers rotating their positions.
She was just pinching there. They've got 3 players back. It's Krulak who steals that, winds, and another active stick there, steers that into the corner by Best. Shot there by DeFore, misses everything, but Georgia Moore is going to keep that. She'll look to center that, but intercepted here by Butler, and Moore keeps that one alive.
I was going to say, if you had to get a pass intercepted by someone, Butler would not be the one you want to give it to.
Puck sent in, and a stick save there. It's loose for Dash. Best is down again. Another second and third save there in a sequence that was dangerous for the Snipers as they look for their first goal of the season. B4 stops up Butler, and she'll now come in on the attack. She's 1-on-3, and Butler steals it right back.
He's 3-on-2 for the Dogs now. Butler driving deep in the corner. She's got players in the slot free.
Nice move around, takes a shot, and she scores! Danny Butler with the hat trick as she scores her 3rd goal of the game, 4th point of the night.
A big night for Danny. You'll see here she's got those options in the slot. And as a result, not much Davis Tope can do. She's got to mark 3 players when they get in there. She's not sure where the shot's going to come from, which creates that opportunity for Butler. And she makes no mistake of that one. Beautiful play there from pretty much a coast-to-coast run.
It was the patience there, as you said, when she walked out in front and just had a sprawling Davis Tope and was able to shoot it over her and extend the lead to 5. And now with a 4-point night tonight, leads the league in scoring, 6 points to Sharna Godfrey's 5.
Gulanis here just carrying the puck down in the corner for the Dogs, setting up that beautiful triangle. They're just doing it particularly well on the attack and just keeping constant pressure on the Snipers.
Shot there to the side of Davis Tope. She looked to get her glove on it, but it's steered out into the corner. puck chipped out, and it's Mayer now who collects it in the neutral zone, and down
There's a
goes
chance.
Niamh Gallagher, and she tried to get a stick. So here's an opportunity, but a even better stick there by Paige Cameron to stop that centering pass.
Cameron saw the threat there with Gallagher on her backside. Had to get back quickly and own that space in front of that. You prioritise getting back into the slot.
Oh, good
That's
stick
hard to score
there.
against.
Good stick there by Carly Harvey, and it's Bella Raimondo now who has it in her own zone. So Snipers now would be happy with the goal. They got shut out last week and have 22 shots so far here on Kayla Best, but haven't been able to solve her.
It's a lot of shots, but very few of them have been from decent angles. So, well, it's a pretty big number. Best hasn't been all that tested throughout the evening so far.
Cochran
Dogs with
battled.
just the 2 shots this period.
Cochran was battling in the corner, but it's one out here by the Snipers, looking to clear it. It's Newman who just chips that forward, and she comes into Briar Johnson with speed. Johnson stops up, has Cochran, and that's picked off there by Krulak. Snipers send it deep to Tran. Tran for the Dogs there, takes it behind her own net, and has Godfrey. Godfrey head up, looking to stretch it out, but miss pass there to Butler, and that's going to allow Ryland just to chip it up there for Dash. Dash over to Moore. Moore watched by Godfrey as the two captains collide, and puck comes out in the neutral zone and stolen there by Butler. With the delayed offside, the Sniper is able to regroup, but the forecheck, the always fierce forecheck, stops it up momentarily, and it's now a 2-on-2 the other way. It's Newman and Dash. Last minute just had the head down, and Dash weaved while Newman wove.
And unfortunately, the puck went the wrong way.
It didn't connect.
It looked like a great opportunity there for the Snipers. They had 2-on-2 and 2 of their better players.
Briar Johnson, nice job there just to hold off Sarah Dash and give it back to Tran. It's on the stick of Godfrey, looking to center that one. It's picked off and kept in here by Gunning. Gunning has it on the backhand now. Looks to get a shot on, and a save by Best. Her 23rd save of the game, picking up right where she left off last season, where she led the league with a .926 save percentage.
That pressure all comes from a keep-in on the blue line by Georgia Moore, who managed to drive the puck back in. And for a little while, the Snipers had the advantage. You might not have seen it, but Sarah Dash was unmarked in the slot as well. She would have been there for any rebounds if they popped up. So a great chance for the Snipers. It feels like they can't buy a goal, though.
We saw this a little bit last year as well, where there were some good periods of play and they weren't able to capitalize. But now, looking at 9 minutes remaining in the third, yet to score this season, Coach Drew Coffrey going to be having to go back to the drawing board and see how he can spark some offense. It's now on the stick there of Dufour, who just sent a floater wide. It's picked up by Nelson. I've been very impressed with her 2 games into the season. She and Marnie Pullen are looking like a match made in heaven. Mayer takes a bit of a tumble. It comes into the far side wall. Gunning chips that away from her. She had her stick tied up, so wasn't able to get the puck deep. B4 with a nice move there away from Grigalunas. Backhands that towards the net, but out of the reach of Mayer. Pullen has a few crossovers, builds a little bit of speed, and now will take it down the length of the ice herself. Stolen there by B4. Now walking in, she'll wind, look for a shot, but a great job there by Butler to get underneath the big Sniper defender and steal that puck.
There's some danger for them. They've got Butler on her own with plenty of time and space.
She's got 3 already, looking to add to it. She makes a move and couldn't get it past Sarah Dash in the end.
Dash doing a great captain's job there of getting back and just covering your D. You're off getting a change. Centre's job, get back there and be the extra D. Dash doing a superb job. I think she's been outstanding for the Snipers tonight.
You aren't wrong. She's definitely been great. Raimondo just ties up Butler, and she's got Gagnac there helping out Butler, but so is Sarah Dash. The puck is loose, and it's a great job there by Butler. Butler's putting the puck exactly where she wants it, and eventually Wally's had enough, and he'll blow the whistle, and we'll have a face-off just to the left of Davis Tone.
Just over 7.5 minutes to play in the third. The Dogs out to a 5-0 lead. The Snipers will be pretty desperately keen to at least get one on the board. They've had a couple of chances this period. A good one just earlier where they quite managed to make the connection. A Dash who was free in the slot. But, if they can make it happen, just need to pick up that intensity and they get themselves on the scoreboard and get a bit of momentum.
And here is Dash, dashing through the center of the ice here. She takes it over the blue line, winds it, bounces off a stick and goes wide. Niamh Gallagher looks to pick that up, and an incipient forecheck there by Dash almost came out on top, but now the Dogs are turned around the other way.
Dash has done a para work in this game. I think not quite single-handedly. She's created most of the opportunities for the Snipers.
Puck centered, but intercepted by Bella Raimondo. She holds it there behind the net and just stopped up as that was Gagnac looking to steal it. Raimondo has a bit of space, and she'll take that down herself through the legs of Grigalunas, but her good friend Paige Cameron gets it, and Raimondo shoots that into the legs of Niamh Gallagher. Cochran fresh off the bench, not able to keep that away from Danny Howe, who looked to take a shot, but she was forced wide by Cameron. Snipers bring it around and shot there, saved by Best, and Niamh Gallagher now chips it up to Cochran. She sends that down the length of the ice, but a great job by Cochran there to beat out the icing as Bédéfour now battles with the Dogs captain.
Just on 6 minutes now to go, that 5-goal lead, 5-0. Snipers will be desperately keen to get on the board at least and get some pride. They're not going to win it from here, but they can get a point.
Here's Grigalunas just being pushed back there by Howe. It's now with Briar Johnson, who's also poised on the back end. Another great game by the young pup. On the stick of the captain, she's got 1 goal tonight. She's got Butler, but a great diving play there by Bédéfour, blocking that pass over as Danny Butler had opened up looking for the one-timer. Howe chips it up there for Krulak. She knew she was offside, and the Snipers are now forced to tag up.
Good back-checking pressure there by Steph Cochran, who got back quickly and was making sure that there was no opportunities there for the Snipers. That's one thing the Dogs have been on.
Here's Butler with speed, breaks it in on the back end, shot, and just shot that one wide. Now centered there for Godfrey, and a save there by the defenseman, Carly Harvey. Ooh, Gagnac nearly intercept that one, but it comes all the way back to Briar Johnson here for the Dogs, looking to send it across over for Tran. Aguirre Thobel, though, comes back, and nifty little pass there over to Butler. Hits the back of Aguirre Thobel, who takes it over the red line, sends it over there for Gagnac. Gagnac winds, takes a shot, and right into the breadbasket there of Davis Tope, who makes her 20th save of the night.
It's a beautiful piece of play there by Aguirre Thobel. She saw the loose player on the other side, didn't try and go through a wall of traffic. She'd drawn 3 Snipers to her. It's a beautiful delivery across the blue line to her teammate, to her line mate, who then succeeded in getting a pretty decent shot on the net. Well, a nice play. We thought she was going to be a good playmaker. She's been coached a lot by Shana Godfrey, and that's where that's coming from.
Probably the biggest thing that I'm noticing for the Dogs is they're not forcing any plays so far in the 2 games. If they're forced to take it wide, they'll take it wide, they'll pass the puck, they'll hold possession, and now they'll go on to the power play already up by 5, although they are 0 for 1 so far on the night.
There won't be any stop time in this game unless the score gap changes dramatically, which is, I don't think it's very likely. But so the clock will continue to tick right the way through. So any of these stoppages, if you're a Dog, you're thinking this is good for us. If you're a Sniper, you desperately want the clock to slow down to give you a bit more time to try and get one back on the net. See what patterns they set up and can they get a shorty. Nothing more embarrassing.
Sarah Dash, 2 minutes for high sticking as the power play starts here on the stick of Marnie Pullen. It's chipped there for Cochran, who centers it across to Godfrey, who just missed that one as she looks at the stick and says, how the hell did that happen?
She's still standing there looking at her stick, Shana Godfrey, not quite sure what happened. Now she decides to move. She's sitting there poised and waiting once again.
It's on the stick of Cochran, goes down deep for Godfrey. Godfrey evades Georgia Moore, looks in front for Cochran and just hit the heeler stick in a fanned attempt to clear by the Snipers. Will that cost them as they go across there for Cochran? She's got a shooting lane, takes one, and just shoots that one high.
Georgia Moore saw the breakdown of their structure and raced back as quick as she could to try and shut down that option, at least put some pressure on Godfrey, and she did, breaking up that attack. It was looking very dangerous. The Snipers got themselves a little bit out of shape on their box defence, and the Dogs took advantage of it, but desperation play there by Georgia Moore to shut it down.
And here's Marnie Pullen using her skating. She takes that in, going end-to-end, takes a shot, and scores! Marnie Pullen end-to-end gets one on the power play, and the Dogs hit 6. You can see this all there for the defenders. You know, she uses back of her net to collect some speed, and once she had the speed, it was just an easy little deke to get past each line of defense. She beat one at the blue line, one at the red line, another one in the offensive zone, and then made no mistake going top shelf over the glove of Davis Tope.
And that's what can happen if your defensive structure breaks down on a penalty. You get a player getting, they beat one and then they've got a lineup of players to beat. It gets a little bit, I'm not going to say easy, but certainly more achievable if you break that structure. It's hard to keep structure on a penalty kill, but that's what you've got to do. And, 1 minute and 25 seconds to play. 6-0 now, the lead to the Dogs.
Here's Danny Butler already on the hat trick, looking to add to it, but Jasmine Mayer stopped her up at the line. Gallagher chips it forward. It's kept in here by the Snipers. Chipped in, hands up there for offside, but not called. Gunning winds, takes a clapper, and that bounces off the glove of Cameron, and it's looking like here late in the first that the Snipers are misfiring and not able to get a goal for the second straight game.
Early days yet, Gossie. There's still 40 seconds to go, and the Snipers are deep in attack. Can they get one?
Puck is centered. It's intercepted here by Butler. Collected here by Gunning. Caleb Best is going to hate me if one ends up going in. But here comes Godfrey, the captain. So here's Godfrey looking to add to her goal tally. Nice little move on the backhand, and she scores. Sharna Godfrey dancing in the offensive zone with the flick of her wrist, able to put that short side and make it 7.
She had Agro-Panther just chasing her up too as a backup, looking to pick up that rebound. But Academic in the end, 7-0 will be the margin. We won't get the final drop of the puck here for the third game of the series. The Dogs remain undefeated. It's
7th heaven for the Dogs, but the Snipers shut out for the second straight game as they will go into their bye week wondering what they need to draw up to collect some offense in their next game that they will play against the Inferno.
There is the mid-season draw coming up this week when the teams get a chance to add an additional 2 players to their roster, depending on who they can pick up. The Snipers will be looking to, I think, possibly shore up their defence a bit, maybe a little bit more size. Georgia Moore doing a great job on her own a lot of the times. It's that size and physicality that you need to own that space. Georgia did a great job of it, but on times she was a little bit without the help that she needed, and certainly the defending against the likes of Butler and so forth is a pretty big ask. And we saw Godfrey there absolutely show us just exactly what she's capable of when she wants to go on her own as well. So a hat trick to one of the Dogs, Gossie.
Yeah, it was Danny Butler.
Danny Butler. So kind of racking up the hat tricks now. Godfrey got the hat trick last time, and this time Butler got it this time around. Godfrey with 2, Cochran with 1, and Marnie Pullen, I think the first of the non-A-line players to score a goal for the Dogs, but it's great to see they're getting that depth in attack too. They split up their attacking lines a bit in the second and third, and you could see Butler trying to lend some experience to some of the younger players in the line and give them a bit of help. But that will wind up this particular game. So the Dogs on top of the ladder well and truly at the moment. Snipers will be parked on the bottom. The next round coming up next week is round 2, game 1, and it will be at 7:25 p.m. here at iceHQ on Friday night. The Dogs will be playing the Inferno for the first of the rematches. Last time the Dogs won that one 4-1. Can the Inferno strike back? They played better last week, the Inferno, and they're a bit of a chance in that game. I think the Snipers, Gossie, I think they were really missing Aletta Jakowicz, to be honest. They needed that size and that intensity. Aletta last week brought a lot of intensity into that game, and it just seemed like it was missing a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much one player makes a difference, but they were definitely missing something on attack.
Yeah, not enough spark.
I know last week they also had that experiment pushing Dufour up forward on occasion. They're definitely going to have to figure something out up forward. They're going to need to create some offense. Sarah Dash seems to just be on her own a lot of the time.
Yep.
And they've got some undersized players up there, and they're not able to get that traffic in front. What we do know is the Dogs are the Dogs. They're as dominant as ever, and as I mentioned during the cast, it's going to be very tough for any team to stop that big line of Butler, Cochran, and Godfrey. They've got to be 3 of the best ladies in the country and have some chemistry better than anyone. That's
definitely a line that will be a challenge at any level of the sport in this country to play, and would be very effective in any of them. So we're looking forward to the next game this evening. will be between it's the Tier 2 competition. That'll be between the Dogs and the Snipers again, and that's at 8:35. So it's actually supposed to be starting now, but there'll be a little bit of a delay while the cut is done. So more likely 8:45 or 8:55. So 8:45 to 8:50 for that game coming up. So the next game for the Women's Pro League, Dogs play the Inferno next week on Friday night, and coming up in about 10 minutes, so we have the Tier 2 Dogs versus Snipers. Bring it on.